May we know, Comsec, if Attorney Harry Roque is present?
Mr. Chair, he has not presented himself today, and he has not also confirmed his attendance in today's hearing.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, yeah, Congresswoman Luistro?
I wish to make a manifestation regarding Attorney Harry Roque.
Please proceed.
Of course, we are all aware that we invited him in today's hearing. We likewise directed the committee secretariat to issue a subpoena regarding the production of pertinent documents. Among others are the deed of sale of the multinational subdivision lot, including the tax returns. That includes also the ITR of spouses Roque and Biancham Corporation. That includes even the SALN from 2016 to 2022. And we even required a trust agreement, which he made mention when he was asked about the transfer of shareholdings from spouses Roque to Attorney Percival Ortega in 2020. Notwithstanding the pronouncement of the committee about the issuance of the subpoena, although the same has not been served to Attorney Harry Roque, this representation, and I understand the committee as well, is in possession of the motion to quash the order of the Quad Committee requiring him to submit these documents. And with the permission of the chair, I wish to enlighten the committee why this should be denied. Among the issues that were raised, Mr. Chair, number one, the documents which are being required according to Attorney Harry Roque are not relevant. Contrary to what he said in the case of Arnold versus Nazareno, this is July 18, 1950. There are two tests for the relevance of documents. One is its materiality to the subject matter, and second is its materiality to the purported legislation. With respect to its materiality to the subject matter, let us remember that one of the controversies that we are investigating right now is the POGO operation. Amid the overwhelming circumstantial evidence of his connection, Attorney Harry Roque's connection to Lucky South, the POGO operation, he vehemently denies this connection to the same. In the last hearing, he even articulated that his money did not come from POGO. I wish to remind the committee that during those time, Attorney Harry Roque was the presidential spokesperson, a government official whose income is very much limited. This notwithstanding, we were able to show to the public the sudden increase of his assets in Biancham Corporation and the other subsidiaries. At this point, Mr. Chair, I maintain that the documents which are being required are relevant to the subject matter of the investigation, because if Harry Roque will not be able to prove the sources of his assets, then there is a possibility indeed that will support his connection to this POGO operation. With respect to the relevance to the purported legislation, possible legislation, if we are able to prove, Mr. Chair, that the documents will support Attorney Harry Roque's involvement to POGO operation, the committee will likely consider revisiting and amending, among others, RA 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, the Code of Professional Responsibility of Government Officials, Anti-Money Laundering, Corporation Law, and even the Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability for Lawyers. The foregoing is apart from the need to amend various laws which we have established already. For one, the PSA charter concerning the fictitious birth certificate that we have discovered already, the immigration law concerning the issuance of visa, the PAGCOR charter concerning the licensing of POGO, and at least the cybercrime law, which is RA 10175. Second, Mr. Chair, he invoked his right against self-incrimination. I wish to share the case of De La Cruz versus People. Ito pong right against self-incrimination ay ginagamit lamang sa testimonial evidence. And what we are requiring from Attorney Harry Roque are object evidence or documentary evidence, and therefore not covered by the right against self-incrimination. Third, Mr. Chair, he invoked his right against privacy. In the case of Standard Chartered Bank versus Senate Committee on Banks, it pronounced the long-standing case of Sabio versus Gordon. The right of the people to access information on matters of public concern generally prevails over the right to privacy. In other words, in the hierarchy of rights, Mr. Chair, mas mataas po ang right to information kaysa sa right to privacy. Finally, Mr. Chair, he likewise invoked his right to due process, two important elements of due process, notice and hearing. And we are all witnesses that we have been according this right to him since day one of the Quadcom hearing. In this light, Mr. Chair, I respectfully move that we deny, we disregard the motion to quash that was filed by Attorney Harry Roque.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luistro. There's a motion to deny the motion to quash presented before the Quad Committee by Attorney Harry Roque on the subject of subpoena duces tecum on several documents required by the committee from Attorney Harry Roque. Is there any second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion, duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee denies the motion to quash of Attorney Harry Roque.
Mr. Chairman,
Congressman Paduano.
just a point of clarification. Since it was denied, does it follows that the motion last time to issue subpoena is in effect?
Yes. Can you please...
Mr. Chair, may I comment?
Okay, Attorney, Congresswoman Luistro.
I humbly submit that the subpoena is still in effect. However, our challenge is it was not served to this date. It has not yet been served to this date. So I wish to suggest, humbly recommend to Quadcom that whenever we issue a subpoena, I hope we can adopt a template so right on the same date and time, we have the resource speaker receive all the subpoena. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Chair.
Congresswoman Luistro.
Mr. Chair.
Comsec, please take note of the manifestation of Congresswoman Luistro.
Mr. Chair, just a inquiry germane to the commotion earlier raised by Congresswoman Luistro. Since we have
Let me just
already...
state for the record that the committee has not, the motion to quash of Attorney Roque is not in a proper motion because he has not received any subpoena yet or any, none of the subpoenas has been served by the committee secretariat yet at that point. So yes, Congressman Adyong.
Thank you. Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, I would just like to inquire from our secretariat because I believe during the past committee hearings when all these documents were requested for Harry Roque to submit, he was here during those committee hearings. And may I confirm from the secretariat, based on our records, did Harry Roque in fact heed and accepted the request of this committee for him to submit all these documents? Can Mr. Chair, the secretariat, confirm this?
Comsec?
He has committed, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. During the August 22 public hearing, the committee requested Attorney Roque to submit all those documents mentioned, and he promised, he committed that he will submit it. And then on August 27, we sent a letter reminding him of his commitment to submit those documents. And on the 28th, he was absent. He was supposed to submit those documents on the 28th, but he was absent. He sent a letter of excuse, citing his his hearing of the International Arbitral Tribunal. In his motion to quash, he referred to that August 27 letter reminding him of those committed documents that he will submit.
So, Mr. Chair, if I may be allowed, Mr. Chair. So it's
Please
very
proceed.
clear. It's very clear, Mr. Chair, upon the confirmation of our Secretariat that when all these documents were requested for Harry Roque to submit, he was here, he did to the request of this committee, and in fact agreed to submit all these documents required of him. So in the case, in his pleading to the committee by due process, I agree with the Congresswoman Luistro that that one of his reasons that he is not granted due process, our records will show, Mr. Chair, that we have been extending due process. In fact, he himself accepted and never gave or never raised any objection to the request when it was made at his presence, Mr. Speaker, during those dates that were mentioned by the Secretariat. So that is my manifestation, Mr. Chair, that all those motions, all those reasons that were cited by Mr. Roque were in fact hindi po mag-a-apply. Yung due process man lang, binigyan ho natin siya ng ganong malaking due process because he was here when all those requests were made. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Adjong. Congressman Paduano?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Kaya nga, I asked the Chair if the Subpoena issued to do all those documents to Mr. Harry Roque is still in effect. Though it was not sent to him last week, but there is a motion that time and was approved unanimously by this committee that a subpoena should be issued to Mr. Harry Roque for all those documents being requested by this committee. So, Mr. Chairman, I do believe that the subpoena is still in effect. All we have to do is send to Harry Roque that subpoena, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
It is still in effect, Congressman Paduano. In fact, upon the motion of Congresswoman Luistro, we denied already the motion to quash of Attorney Roque. Therefore, he's still compelled to submit all these documents that was required of him during the last committee hearing of the Quadcom.